Hi, I'm astrologer and life coach Penny Dix. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back if you're one of my regular visitors here. If this is your first time, a big welcome to you, and hopefully you'll like what you see here. And if so, I would love it if you'd subscribe. So today, I am bringing you one of my short heads up videos, but this one is specifically, excuse me, I've got an itchy nose. This one is specifically for the sign of Virgo. And that's whether you are the sun in Virgo or the rising sign, also known as the ascendant. And you can check out your moon sign as well. I always forget to add that, but it could also add a bit of richness if you look at it from the perspective of your moon. So, Virgo, we start the month on May the 1st, which is our lovely May Day public holiday, with Pluto, my big outer boy of transformation, power, energy, and Pluto is going to go retrograde. Now, as you're probably well aware now, Pluto is going through this kind of transition point between the signs of Aquarius and Capricorn. And so on the 1st, Pluto starts a retrograde, and by June the 11th, we'll be back in Capricorn in your 5th house. Now that's the part of your chart to do with your creativity. So it may be that Pluto's feeling you need a little bit of extra boost of creative energy to finish a project that you haven't quite reached the end of yet. And whilst Pluto goes through your 6th house, which is going to be for, and don't freak out, don't see this as bad, for 20 years, we'll say it quickly, it's the part of your heart, your chart to do with your daily routine. It's also, of course, the part of the chart that is very much where Virgo is at home, because it's the house of service. So I think it's going to be empowering you to be of service not only to others in a much more direct and equal way, but also to serve yourself much better. I do feel that's part of what the energy for you of Pluto in Aquarius in the 6th. On the 11th, it will retrograde back into Capricorn, and it will be there for a while. The 5th, we have the second of two major eclipses. The first we had was on April the 20th. That was the day before Mercury, our planet of communication, went retrograde. And that first eclipse was a new moon total solar eclipse in your 8th house, Aries. And that has set the scene for whatever needs to kind of be resolved over the next few months with the emergence now of this lunar eclipse, this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, in your 3rd house of communication. So this is about communication. This is you recognizing that there may have been certain ways, certain things, certain ways of behaving, certain habits that you have in the way you communicate that perhaps you need to address and find a richer way, a more feeling way. It's Scorpio. Scorpio has huge depths, and I think this eclipse is inviting you to really find those more passionate depths. You know, Virgo, sometimes you kind of hide behind a facade. And I think it's a facade almost of shyness or of not really wanting to let your feelings show. This full moon is telling me you need to let those feelings show. Then, by the 9th of May, the sun in Taurus, this is your 9th house. Taurus, of course, is about our finances. It's also about luxury and food and all sorts of things. This is also the part of your chart that is to do with higher education and travel. It's going to be conjunct Uranus, my big outer boy of luck. Sorry, that's Jupiter. My big outer boy. I'll get my planets right in a minute. My big outer boy of the unexpected. There you are. It gave me an unexpected irrational thought that came in and changed the meaning of itself. So it's about surprise, the unexpected, unpredictability. I think you're going to go on an unexpected journey, which will be really good fun. I think that's going to come up suddenly, and it's possibly somewhere in the sun. On the 15th, Mercury, our planet of communication, in Taurus, that's been retrograde in this part of your chart, finally turns direct. But remember, it's not out of its what we call shadow phase till the end of May. So still, with anything important to do with communication or learning, teaching, filling in forms, that kind of thing, really make sure you get everything right before you submit anything like that. Because from the end of May onwards, you're going to be in much better, easier energies for things to move smoothly. On the 16th, Jupiter, now I've got to Jupiter, my big outer boy of luck and opportunity and expansion. So Jupiter in Aries finally moves into Taurus, your 9th house. My God, Virgo, you are going to be going all over the place over the next year, because the 9th house, as you know, is about travel. Jupiter is going to be in this part of your chart for the next year. So it's more than likely that you will do some travel, and maybe some of it quite long distance. I think because of the presence of Uranus, there could be unexpected trips that come up. Who knows what that's about? It will become clearer as the year progresses and we see what other aspects come into this part of the chart. But it's certainly going to be a busy time. You could also find you've got visitors coming from overseas to stay with you. So I think a busy summer and autumn for you, Virgo. Now, on the 18th, Jupiter again, this time is squaring Pluto in Aquarius in your 6th. Remember, Pluto is retrograde, but Jupiter is just saying, don't pack too much in to your daily routine. Try and discard things that are unnecessary. Stick to the most important things. Prioritize. Otherwise, basically, you're going to get exhausted, quite simply. Now, by the 19th, still in the 9th house, we have a new moon in Taurus. And as with all new moons, this is giving you some wonderful opportunities, maybe to learn something new, maybe to actually book that trip that you're thinking, maybe I should wait to the end of May when Mercury is out of its shadow before I make that booking. But there is definitely, I think, a lot of energy around you literally going out on some long journeys. On the 21st, Mars, our planet of energy, action, sexuality, assertion. Now, Mars is in your 12th house. This is the part of your chart that is very much about inner reflection. And it's going to be in opposition to Pluto in the 6th, in Aquarius, retrograde. I think what this is highlighting for you is that you might be feeling overwhelmed emotionally and mentally by the volume of things in your calendar. I really think you've got to prioritize and just look and choose the things that really are the most important. Don't cram everything in, Virgo, because I think it will tire you out emotionally and possibly as well physically. By the 23rd, Mars, still in your 12th house, Leo, makes a square to Jupiter in Taurus. So this also is kind of highlighting the need for you to slow down, to not allow yourself to overextend yourself and your energies, because you will struggle with it on a more emotional and psychological level if you overextend yourself. By the 25th, which is a very important day because we have what is known as a fixed grand cross. Now, I am going to do a separate heads up about that, but just to give you an idea of what it's about, it's fixed because it's between 4 of the fixed signs. It's between Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. And this energy is going to kind of, it's almost like a drawbridge is pulled up, or the gate of the castle comes down. It really feels like a stop, wait, be patient, and this too shall pass kind of energy. Nearer the time, we will look at the energy of it in a fuller way. But don't be freaked out by it, because I think also there may be events going on in the outside world which are going to have a bearing on this. So that could be some of what this energy is about. Now, just before we finish your reading, by the 27th, Jupiter in Taurus, still in your 9th house of travel and higher learning, is conjunct the North Node, your destiny. So I think you are going to be feeling very optimistic and encouraged by what can come in the future. It's just that you've got to get the timing right. Think about Saturn in Pisces. In that part of your chart to do with relationship, use some of that Saturn energy to slow you down. You know, Pisces is your opposite sign. It's also about our emotions. And I think it's your emotional side that can get tired out. So just be mindful of that. And then I think you can navigate the astrology of May very well. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me for your May astrology. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and all those wonderful things that you all do. I love the comments that I get, and I do my best to get round to all of them as quickly as possible. I feel I know you all personally now, and it's a real blessing. And also, while you're there, can you go to my website if you would like to, and subscribe to my website, because then you'll get the newsletter telling you about a whole load of exciting courses and Zoom webinars that we are planning for later in the year. And you have to be subscribed to get that newsletter. On that note, thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to, I've said all that before, haven't I? Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Yes, and you all do. And I am super grateful. Super, super grateful. On that note, thank you so much. I'll stop wittering now. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.